What do you do when you can't be a hero anymore? You pivot. That's this week on the Badass Agile podcast.
Greetings, team. Welcome to the Badass Agile podcast. I'm your host, Chris Williams.
Hey, you, my friend, welcome back. Great to see you. You know, you and I are impact people. That's what we really do. If you call yourself an agilist, an agile practitioner, a scrum master, whatever it is you do, at the end of the day, we probably do it because we like the ability to help people, the ability to help people get something that they didn't have before, a certain result, a certain level of performance, a certain level of comfort, predictability, something. There's something about what we do that helps people in a way that makes us feel good, fulfilled, satisfied. Let me get into why this matters right now. But first, let's take a moment to remember why we're here. To create an elite tribe of leaders who truly serve their clients and communities by doing what matters and what works, relentlessly chasing value and excellence like a badass. There's so many resources out there about what you need to do to be agile, but we're focused on who we need to become in order to lead teams. So let's hammer down those fundamentals to create a truly unique and powerful force in this industry. If this helps you, if you love it, do me a favor, share it with your friends. If you're like me, you might have come up through the tech domain. Maybe you're a programmer or a network engineer or even a business analyst in the software realm. But I can tell you one thing I know for sure is that when I was coming up, my ability to explain technology to people who were struggling to understand it, and keep in mind, when I was coming up, this was very common because there wasn't yet a PC in every home. Not everyone knew how to use DOS or Windows. It was relatively new to almost everybody. And so as computers became more prevalent, especially in the workplace, people were struggling to make sense of them. Because they felt like, and tell me if this sounds familiar, tell me if this sounds anything like 2025, people felt like their jobs depended on adapting to the new way of thinking and being. And of course, it did. But at this point, almost nobody would consider having a personal computer, using a mouse, using a laptop to be an out-of-reach skill. We've got this. It's part of our everyday. So at some point, my world went from feeling like a doctor, from feeling like a superhero, because I was showing people how to master, how to bring into their territory, their domain, something that previously felt out of reach, that they were worried they were never going to get, and they were worried that that failure to get it might cost them their future. You used to hear people say, "Thank God for you. I'm so glad you're here. You saved me from ... You helped me too ... And that, for a guy like me, is exactly the feeling that I want. That's what I get up for every day. That's how I love to make a living. That's how I love to conduct myself. That's how I love to spend my time. Doing things that help people master something that they need, that they feel like they can't get, like maybe they don't deserve, like it's slightly out of reach for them. But eventually, once everyone understood this, I was no longer being a hero by simply showing people how to use and master and have command over that personal computer or that laptop. So I moved on to operating systems, and then I moved on to networking, and then I moved on to server operating systems, and then I moved into databases, and then data warehousing, and then development, and then I progressed language through language through language until finally I realized there's nothing really in helping people keep on top of the latest. I kind of got bored with learning the latest and greatest programming language, and by the time XML came around, I was kind of done. Why? Because I wanted to help people with the human side of change. You know, the fear that goes with all of this new stuff, the uncertainty, the strength that's required to go boldly forward and say, I don't know what this is, but I'm going to wrap my hands around it. I'm going to figure it out. And if you distill that down, I went through everything from project management to, being in the QA business. And finally, I realized that what I really do is that I help people have the confidence to set their feet into the realm of the unknown, the unseen, the undone, so that they can have something different. It's not about the skills of learning the next latest, greatest thing. It's about becoming the kind of person who is fearless, in the pursuit of whatever may come next. Doesn't matter what it is, technical, non-technical, who cares? But there is a moment, and we're experiencing it right now in the Agile space, where people are saying, well, not for nothing, there's an awful lot of Agilists out there, and we can't really say it's working all that well, and it is 25 years old, so maybe this isn't a thing anymore. And you see people panic. What do we do now? What's coming next? If not this, then what? It feels like what we do has become too commonplace, too outdated to be meaningful anymore, and we reach that inflection point where we no longer feel like heroes. So the impact that we're trying to make, we can't make it. And so we don't get that feeling. We don't get that fulfillment. We're no longer doing the thing that we jump out of bed to do every day, which is to help people. So what do you do when you can't be a hero anymore? It's simple. You pivot. Some might say, well, I don't need to feel like a hero. I just want to do my job. I just want to be useful. Okay, maybe this isn't for you. This is speaking directly to those of you who look to the Badass Agile podcast for insight on how to be on that leading edge, how to constantly be improving yourself so that you can be of service to others. But if we can't be heroes, this special kind of person that I'm speaking to today, if we can't be heroes anymore, we're not fulfilling our purpose. We need to figure out what could be next. It is your job. It is your duty to figure it out, because the good in what you do is not your knowledge of Agile. So guess what's not going to fix the problem? You will not go forward into the future by knowing more about Agile or Scrum or Kanban or any of those things, because there's only so much that's knowable and new. At a certain point, these frameworks, these ways of doing things, these principles and philosophies and beliefs stand on the idea that it's supposed to be simple. If it's too complex, if it's too formulaic, it stops working. It becomes less efficient, especially as you try to scale it. No. Your value is not in your professor-like knowledge of agility. It's in your desire to do more, to seek more, to help people get faster, to help people eliminate waste, to be more efficient, to manage human relationships better, to negotiate conflict, difficulty, blockers with clarity and certainty. All of those things are what make you valuable as an Agilist. Now, here's the thing. Like most things in life worth having, it won't be handed to you. It's up to you. It's up to me to figure out what comes next, and there is no right answer. This is truly the territory of the innovator, of the pioneer. But I'm here to tell you it's critically important that we seek out where this hero's journey, to steal a phrase, is taking us. What you will accomplish by the end of your life is not written in stone. It's not seeable. All you can do is experience it. All you can do is move forward into the unknown, to take risks, to try things and fail. And hey, isn't that what we're supposed to be good at anyway? Isn't that supposed to be what we crave? So how do you do it? How do you find out what comes next? How do you reclaim your hero status? How do you become someone who offers something valuable while at the same time loving what you do every day? It's simple. Go serve. Find out what people need. They'll tell you. If you listen, if you interact with them, you'll get hints about what's next, because they'll tell you after all the good that you've done, after all the change that you've brought, there are still things that aren't working. They'll tell you what the next conquest has to be. We've gotten good at this. We've installed the team rooms. We're doing Scrum every week. We're, all of the wonderful things. We're doing them, but we're still struggling with this. Communication's a problem. Turnover is a problem. Culture's a problem. Well, as you're out there serving, instead of just showing up and doing the role every day, reading off of a script, you should be looking for what else is not working now. You may find that you have to go deep, get more specific. You may have to go up and go broad. You may have to go sideways. It could be about finding a niche. So Agile for a particular vertical, a specific business type, a specific size of business. It could be going into Agile for areas where Agile's never been applied before, and maybe we don't even call it Agile anymore because that's not what you do. You're not really an Agilist. You're an expert in change, in evolution, in progress, in innovation. And almost every industry, no matter how small or large, could use a little more of that. So pick your specialty or evolve the craft somehow. But to stand still and just do Agile in the context of Scrum or Kanban, in the context of a software development shop or a product development shop, is becoming limited, overcrowded, and less useful. Does that mean you have to abandon your software practice or stop serving software teams? No, but it does mean that you're going to have to offer something to that industry, to those teams that they can't get today. You've got to be the person who figures out why it's not working, where it's not working, and to attack and solve those problems. Because when you do that, once again, you'll be bringing something to people that they felt was eluding them, that they were worried was going to mean their job, was going to affect their future. And when you fix that, when you heal that, you get to be a hero again. And if you're like me, and impact is at the heart of what you do, we can be honest and say, yeah, I like being the hero. I like being the fixer, the solver, the healer, the helper, the teacher, whatever hero means for you. If we can admit that that's why we're in the business, to help people, to serve, to make an impact, to have people say, remember that guy? He was really good at this. I'll never forget what he said here because he did this. Everything changed. That's what I want. What about you? Did this one inspire you? Let's talk about it. You can reach out at badassagile.com. You can find me at the coordinates in the show notes below. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode, and until then, stay badass.